Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Concrete Floor. I just got back from taking a quick trip down to my local record store, which here in Omaha is known as Homer's. Homer's has been around for, I think, about 50 years now and is still going strong. Once again, I cannot express enough about supporting local record stores. Go buy physical media. Anyways, speaking of which, just wanted to show you my awesome small haul today. $29 spent and well worth it. I did pick up a couple cassettes today, starting with the mighty Van Halen 1984. How do you go wrong for $2? You know, with the track list on here: 1984, Jump, Panama, Top Jimmy, Drop Dead Legs, Hot for Teacher, I'll Wait, Girl Gone Bad, and House of Pain. 1984 on cassette, an absolute steal at $2. Now, this cassette here, this was an interesting purchase for me because I just happened to walk by it and it completely reminded me of my sophomore year in high school, hanging out with my friend Scott. We listened to this cassette endlessly. This is the Tesla 5-man acoustical jam. This bad boy was $1.50. And you have a lot of tracks on here and some good covers as well. Some Grateful Dead covers, some Beatles covers. Your tracks lists are Coming At You Live, Truckin', Heaven's Trail, This Way Is the Way, We Can Work It Out, Signs, Getting Better, Before My Eyes, Paradise, Lodi, Mother's Little Helper, Modern Day Cowboy, Love Song, and Down for Boogie. This tape, as I said, is just one of those kind of takes you back to childhood. Real pleased that I got this, and especially for $1.50. How do you go wrong? Now, two albums that I got today. An absolute steal on this first one. I am super pleased with this one, and it is actually an original pressing, not a redo. And that is Ozzy's Bark at the Moon. One of my favorite non-Randy Rhoads albums. Of course, this is the first album without Randy Rhoads. This is Jakey Lee, and I think some of the guitar work on here is some of the finest that Ozzy has put out with a different guitarist other than Randy Rhoads. I know everyone talks about Zakk Wylde, and of course, I get it, you should. They had a very, very long run together, but I think Jakey Lee kind of got a raw deal. He was coming in after Randy. That was going to be impossible shoes to fill. And Ozzy was never going to be happy. And because Randy, of course, as he's come out and said, was his musical soulmate. So Jakey Lee did 2 albums with Ozzy. This is absolutely hands down my favorite of the Jakey Lee era. For sure, you got Bark at the Moon, You're No Different, Now You See It, Now You Don't, Rock and Roll Rebel, Century of Eternity, So Tired, Slow Down, and Waiting for Darkness. What an absolute killer Ozzy Osbourne album. I highly recommend, if you don't have this in your collection, or if you have never listened and gone back to Bark at the Moon, you definitely should. And then last but not least, another jewel from my childhood, and was so excited to see this sitting there that I had to get it. Once again, just one of those nostalgic, take you back to the day of being a kid. Twisted Sister's Stay Hungry. Of course, this is Twisted Sister's best album. This was their big breakthrough too. This is when MTV was just hitting the heights, and videos made bands. MTV made Twisted Sister 100%, and this album is what propelled it into superstardom. These guys had been out humping it in nightclubs for a decade before anyone even knew their name. They put out, I think, 2-3 albums before Stay Hungry, and then this came out and it just absolutely exploded on the scene, and Twisted Sister was a household name with tracks like Stay Hungry, We're Not Gonna Take It. Of course, that was their anthem. That was the video and anthem that really, really propelled this band to superstardom. Burn in Hell, which is an awesome song. The Horror, Captain Howdy, and Street Justice. Captain Howdy is another absolute slammer on this album. I Wanna Rock, of course, was another one that propelled them beyond superstardom on MTV. The Price is a fantastic song. Don't Let Me Down, The Beast, and SMF. I love this album. I'm so happy that I'm able to add it to the collection, and the price on it was fantastic. So yeah, Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. So yes, my friends, for a little bit of afternoon of digging through the used albums and cassettes, $29 later, and I am super, super satisfied with my haul. I will say it every episode and sometimes 2-3 times an episode, but I am just reminding people, physical media is what's going to keep us having albums like this and finding precious jewels like this and keeping local record stores in business. This is such a huge thing. We do not want albums to go away. You don't want cassettes to go away. It's one of those things that physical media, you own it, you have it anytime you want to listen to it. And I understand iTunes and Spotify, yeah, sure, you click a button and then it's there. But there is something to be said about building your collection and having that satisfaction of sitting down and thumbing through your own albums and digging through your own cassettes to find what you're in the mood for. I cannot express that enough. Shop your local record stores, buy physical media. As always, my friends, thank you so much for giving this video a shot. If you're digging what you see and you'd like to subscribe, that would be fantastic. If not, I do just truly appreciate that you even gave the video a chance. And let's always remember, most importantly, in these crazy times that we live in this crazy world that we live in, let's make sure to be kind to one another. I will see you on the next episode, my friends.